Hey there, it's Danny here and welcome to today's video where I'm going to talk you through the ad reporting setup that I use inside of Facebook Ads Manager and my team inside the agency all use as well, so that we can track how well our campaigns are doing, how well our client campaigns are doing, and also look for opportunities of where we can optimize and improve the performance of those campaigns, as well as spotting where things might potentially be going wrong so that we can hone in on any issues and get them fixed really, really quickly. So this is going to be an incredibly useful video if you are running Facebook ads or thinking about running Facebook ads and you want to understand how to track the success of those ad campaigns, or otherwise if things aren't going that well and you need to kind of drill down and work out why that's happening, then this is the video for you. So before I get started, please do hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. That will really help me out. But let's get into this. Let's dive into Ads Manager and I will walk you through the reporting that we use. So here we are in Ads Manager, and this is a campaign that I was running a while back to generate some leads, but it's got the right reporting set up, so I've chosen to use this for the purposes of this video. So I'm actually in the ad set level here. It doesn't really matter, I could be in the ad level, but I've come into the ad set level to show you how this is going to work. So starting from the left, I always use starts at the beginning as the first column that I'm looking at, because that just means that if I've got a long list of campaigns that are running or ads that are running and I need to see the most recent one, which I often do, then I can just click on starts and it will sort them all by that column, and then they'll be listed in date order. So that's just a useful little tip that I'd recommend. We then have delivery, and then we get into, so delivery is obviously where, if the ads are delivering, or if they're currently, these ones are switched off because we're not running them at the moment. Are they in the learning phase, etc. Then we have the results. So we want to kind of upfront see how are these ads performing without having to scroll along and seeing, like, you know, trawling through lots of data. How are these ads performing? So we can see here that I got 33 leads. This was a small test that we did. £2.43 per lead, which was okay. And that's that. Then we kind of move into the next kind of block for me, which is reach, impressions and frequency. So the reach is, as if you hover over this, it'll tell you, but it's the number of people that saw your ad at least once. Okay. Now reach is kind of like unique individuals that have seen your ad at least once. Whereas you've got impressions, which is the total number of times that your ads have appeared on screen. So even if somebody's just scrolling through Facebook on their phone and your ad appears, then that will count as an impression. And the frequency is quite simply the impressions divided by the reach. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is just to see how well fed are my ads. Are my ads feeding out to the audience? And I'll be looking at things like the size of the audience and making sure that we're reaching a good proportion of that audience. As well as that, the frequency is really important. So frequency is, on average, how often have people, in fact if I hover over this you can read it as well, but on average how often have people seen this ad in their feed? It's an estimated metric. But a frequency of 1.37, these ads weren't running for that long anyway because I only spent about £80, so this was just running for a few days as a test. But with the frequency of 1.37 I'm kind of cool with that. Now over time, if I noticed that my reach numbers weren't really going up too much, but my frequency was increasing, then what that would mean is that Facebook are kind of, they've found an audience within, or a subset of the audience that I'm targeting that they want to keep showing these ads to because they think they're going to get the best conversions. But once the frequency kind of gets to sort of 3 or above, then I'm starting to think, okay, maybe I need to do something else. Maybe I need to refresh the creative or try something else, because people have on average, people have seen these ads 3 times. Maybe some a bit more, so they're going to start getting a bit bored of seeing them. You might start to see fatigue in the ads and the performance might start to tail off. So that's where, and this is just a caveat here, these ads are running to cold traffic. Okay, so this is not a warm audience, these ads have been running to a cold audience, and the purpose of these ads is to grow my email list with new leads. Then we've got the budget and the amount spent, kind of self-explanatory really. And then here we have ends and schedules. So ends is when the campaign is scheduled to stop running, but this one wasn't, it was just an ongoing campaign, but I stopped it after a few days. And here we have the schedule, so I can see that it started on the 5th of September and it didn't have an end date. So I'm going to scroll along now, and here we get into what we call in our agency the soft stats. So the soft stats are those stats that aren't, you know, if we're looking at how this campaign's performed, this is the hard data. what were the actual results we were optimizing the campaign for, where we wanted website leads and how much were those leads coming in at. That's kind of like hard data. But then you've got the soft stats here that feed into that. These are the kind of what's happening behind the scenes that's influencing the performance of the ads. So we start with the CPM, and that's the cost per mille, or cost per 1,000 impressions, as it says at the top here. And knowing the audience that I was targeting, a CPM of around £12 here is quite acceptable. CPM is impacted by things like the amount of competition for the audience that you are bidding to get your ads shown to. So Facebook ads is an auction process. You're bidding against other advertisers to get your ads shown to specific audiences. And if you're targeting a very, very popular audience, you know, in the online coaching space, for example, audiences like Tony Robbins, Marie Forleo, those kinds of audiences that a lot of advertisers are trying to go after, then you might expect to see higher CPMs there. But other things that can impact the cost per mille are the quality of your ads. You know, if your ads are, you know, if you've got really good copy and really good creative and you're getting a lot of engagement and interaction on your ads, then the CPM is likely to be slightly lower. So there are a number of factors that influence the CPM. And it's very difficult to say what a good CPM might be, because it very much depends on the industry that you're in. But certainly in the coaching space, where I, with this campaign, was targeting kind of coaches and entrepreneurs and course creators and those kinds of people, because they're my ideal client, I know that £12.84 was a pretty good CPM, and I was kind of happy with that. So then we have the number of clicks anywhere on the ad and the cost per click. I don't really put too much stock into these stats, but it's useful to have them there, because this reporting view has been saved, and I'll show you how to do this in a minute, as list building. Okay, so I can, if you click on the columns in Ads Manager here, then you can see all of the preconceived or predefined reporting views that you can choose. And when you come into Ads Manager, normally, as you can see, performance is the default. Okay, but the performance view really doesn't give me very much data to look at all. I'm scrolling all the way through that, and there's not a lot there at all. So that's why I've set up my own view, which was list building, which has a lot more data, and it's structured in the way that I want it to be structured. So let me just go back to where I was. So the useful thing about tracking things like, or having a reporting view that includes, you definitely want to track your CPMs, but things like clicks all and CPC, while I don't put too much stock into those per campaign, it's good to compare how other campaigns and other ad sets and other ads are performing, so you can kind of see, well, what's getting more clicks, what's getting a lower cost per click. But I wouldn't optimize based on these data points themselves. What I am really interested in, though, just scrolling along, is the CTR all and the CTR link click-through rate. So when you're running ads to cold traffic, your CTR all ideally wants to be over 3%. And just to kind of show you, CTR all is the percentage of times that people saw your ad and performed a click, but it's a click anywhere on your ad. So it could be if they click on the image, it could be if they click on the three little dots in the corner just to see why they're seeing the ad. It could be when they click on the see more link so that the copy folds down and they can read the rest of the copy. Any click on your ad will come into CTR all. So 3% or higher is good, and that says to me at nearly 4% that this ad is in front of the right audience and it's getting enough engagement. It's stopping the scroll and they are clicking. Okay. Now, before I go any further, the way I'm going to kind of go through this, I want you to kind of think of it as if I'm taking you through the journey that the user's going to go on as they proceed through the funnel. Okay. So it starts by them seeing the ad, and then are they clicking, are they engaging on it, or are they just scrolling past? Well, this is telling me no, they're not scrolling past, they're stopping the ad and they're engaging. So then I'm thinking, right, let's look at the CTR link click-through rate. Now again, because this is cold traffic, I would want this to be at least 1%, and it's just over, it's nearly 1.2%. That's fine, that's a KPI that I'm more than happy with. What this is telling me is that not only are people engaging with the ad, they're then clicking on the link, or they're clicking on the call to action button to take the next step into the funnel, which is to, you know, this was offering a lead magnet at the time. In fact, if I click here, go here, what I'll do is preview the ad just so you can see it. So this image of me just pointing down, so this is the above the fold copy, stop spending hours struggling to create your Facebook ads. This was getting enough engagement for people to click see more. They're like, okay, what is this? I need to understand more about how can I stop spending hours struggling to create ads. This isn't a copy review, but then you can see here's the copy about a checklist, and these are the kind of benefits, and then there's the link to download it. Okay, so nothing too groundbreaking there, but it was performing really well. So if I come back to the view that I had, so the link click-through rate was 1.2%. That means that people are clicking the link to take the next step. And that next step would be to either click on one of these links, which aren't clickable in this view, or to click the call to action button so that they can download. And what would happen is they would open up a landing page. But that landing page isn't, I don't believe it's live anymore, so I can't show you that. So, two important metrics there. You want this above 3%, you want this above 1%. Then we're seeing link clicks and cost per link click. And again, I'm not kind of too hung up on these metrics, but it's good to just keep an eye on them. And then we're looking at landing page views and cost per landing page view. So what is important to me is how many of the link clicks are resulting in landing page views. And what I've actually done here is created a custom metric called LP, landing page load rate. So what this is telling me is what percentage of people that click the link are allowing the landing page to load, because you can see a big drop off at this point. If your landing page takes a long time to load, then people might click the button on your ad, give it like 3 seconds ago, it's not loading, and they just, because they're bored and instant gratification is such a big thing, they will just go and do something else, and your landing page won't load. So the way that you set these metrics up is that you come up to the 3 bars here and you go to customize columns, and then you'll click on create custom metric. Okay, and then what you can do is you can name that metric. So I call it landing page load rate. I won't save this, but I'll show you how I built it out. Landing page load rate. Now I wanted it to be a percentage because I want to see the percentage of people that are taking the action that I want to track. I don't worry about a description. And then what I did, I think, was I put leads divided by landing page views. And then because I have an agency, I would state that everyone with access to this business can see that so that my team can use it as well. And then I click create metric. And then what that does is that adds a column in here, which is actually this one, LP load rate. And I just have it in there, and that's it. So then I can see as a percentage. So my KPI here is 70%. If less than 70%, if the landing page load rate is below 70%, then I need to look at that landing page because there's a problem. This is doing well at nearly 88%, so I'm happy with that. Then, once the landing page is loaded, I then want to see, well, how many leads has it generated and what's the cost per lead. So I've got this information right at the beginning as well in terms of results and cost per result. But let me just scroll back to where I was. Here. So I want to kind of track this journey as I'm scrolling to the right of this reporting view. So I can see 33 leads at £2.43, that's great. And then I've created another custom metric here, which is the landing page conversion rate. And that is based on the landing page views and the leads generated. And I can see that this landing page is converting at nearly 51%. So the KPI here, I've heard mixed opinions on this. Some people say that 20% would be a bare minimum of acceptable kind of conversion rate. For me, it's not. Some people say 30%, and I kind of might just about be okay with that, but I normally say 40% is what you want as a minimum as the landing page conversion rate. If you're targeting the right audience with the right message and the right offer, and you've got a very well constructed ad and a nice landing page, you should be hitting well over 40% conversion rate. So this was nearly 51. I was happy with that. So there's nothing in this funnel that is causing me any concern. Okay, everything seems to be working really well. The ads are performing well. All of the KPIs are exceeded, and the performance here is as I'd want it to be. So I'm really, really happy with this. But what I've shown you is if this landing page conversion rate, for argument's sake, was 25%, I would definitely want to go and look at that and think, well, look, people are coming through this funnel. All of the metrics are good until this point. So there's a problem on that landing page. Let me go and look at it and figure out what that problem is. Is it that the message that's on the landing page is disconnected from the message in the ad? Does the scent not flow through very well? Or it could be any other number of reasons. It might be that there are links on the landing page that shouldn't be there. You know, one of the things that I see a lot of, without wanting to digress too much, is people that set up landing pages, but they do them on their website and they've got their navigation at the top of the page, and that means that people will get to that landing page, but they might click on one of the links in the website header, and then they go away and you've lost them. So when you create a landing page, it's really important to make sure that the only two things people can do are either opt in or close the page, nothing else. Although, caveat, you do want a little privacy policy at the bottom. Now, if I was using a tripwire, I have these reporting columns here, but there's no data in these. But if I had a tripwire on the thank you page, let me explain what I mean by that. If someone's opted in for my lead magnet, then what I could do on the thank you page is say, hey, it's on its way to your inbox, but I've got something really exciting to share with you. And I might make an offer to them where they can buy something of really high perceived value at a really low cost. Okay, there's lots of benefits to having a tripwire in place, but I didn't on this funnel because we were just doing a test here. But what a tripwire can do is a couple of things. Firstly, if your conversion rate is high enough, then, you know, and I'd normally aim for between 5 and 10%. I'd think of that as a good return or a good conversion rate for a tripwire offer. Okay, so don't forget, people have come through this funnel, they've gone through the ad, they've opted in for your lead magnet, and then you're asking them to buy something, but you're making it really enticing. And 5 to 10% is a good KPI for that to convert. If they convert, then they're going to be contributing towards your ad spend, right? Because it can cover the investment. I mean, on this campaign, I spent £80. It is not a huge amount of money. But if I had a tripwire that was maybe positioned at, I don't know, £17, and I had, let me just do the math here. If it was converting at 10%, and I had 33 leads, then that means that I'd probably sell 3 tripwires. 3 times 17 is 51, I think. That's really bad. I think that's right. My maths is not as good as it used to be. So that would have contributed, you know, towards, I don't know, 70% of my ad spend. Great. And what you ideally want is a tripwire that's converting so that it's giving you a return on ad spend of more than 1. So if your return on ad spend number is more than 1, it means that you're making more money than you're spending on your ads. And what that can mean in this scenario is that you are growing your audience, you're building your email list with leads, and you're not paying for them. That's a great place to be. It wasn't set up, as I said, for this campaign because this was just a test. But tripwires are really, really useful, and we do them all of the time with our clients and in my own funnels as well when they're running. So those are the reporting columns that I use and my team use in our agency to track the progress of the campaigns that we run for our clients, especially when they're looking to do list building. We might do something slightly different if they're running sales campaigns or omnipresence campaigns. We might have a slightly different view, but I hope that's helpful. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll respond to them as quickly as I can. And if you got value from this video, I'd love it if you'd hit the like button and subscribe. I'm going to be releasing videos like this at least once a week throughout this year and beyond. And one final thought. If you are looking for an agency to work with that might be able to help you to take the weight off with your Facebook ads, if you're perhaps running them at the moment and you're just finding you don't have time or you're not getting the right results, or you're thinking about running them and you've got, you know, funnels that are converting really well organically, but you want to scale those now and really kind of amp up your business, then you can apply for a call to see if you're a good fit to work with us. We only work with coaches, course creators, consultants, entrepreneurs. It's that kind of market. They are our ideal client. And we normally we do ask that you have at least £1,000 a month to spend on ads plus agency fees. So if you feel that that's a good fit for you, then go to daddyyoungonline.com/apply and you can have a call with me or a member of the team and we'll see if you're a good fit. And if that is the case, then fantastic. We could potentially work with you. So that's it for now. I'll be back in another video very soon. And until then, take care and I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.